So the Nothing Phone 2 has just officially came out. So let's go and see and show you exactly how to use this phone. Now, this is a very good phone. I'm sure you're going to use it for a long period of time, and it's a pretty basic phone to use. Now, on the outside, we have a massive display. It's a very good looking display as well. Hole punch centered in the top left, or the top center, basically. The sides of this phone, nothing crazy going on. We basically have our volume buttons. We have this flat side on the side of this phone, which is really beautiful. On the bottom, we have our USB Type-C port, a speaker grill, and a SIM card tool, which we'll get into in a second. The top portion has nothing. The other corner, or the other side, just basically has a side button, the power button right here that we can use to enable our screen and basically enable Google Assistant. And on the back, we have our glass back, which looks beautiful. We have our glyph interface, which is really cool. There's like a bunch of lights and stuff back here, which I'll show you how to enable. And we have our dual camera setup. This phone also has IP certification, IP54, and it also has wireless charging and reverse wireless charging as well, which is really awesome. So there's a lot of good stuff going on for this phone just from that perspective. But before you even get too far into it, you may want to put in your SIM card. Now, basically put in your SIM card, it's very basic. You're going to want to go ahead and grab your SIM card eject tool, which should have came in the box. So it's to the left of the USB-C port if the screen's on the front. So as you can see, the little tiny hole right there, all you're going to want to do to the leftmost hole, you want to go and basically put in that SIM card eject tool just like so into this device. Now when you do that, you can go and grab this specific device out like this, and you can go and put in your SIM card right there. So this SIM card is a nano SIM. You can find it all over the place, and you should be able to go ahead and just basically put in that SIM card just like so, and that is basically all you're going to have to do there. From that point on, you should be able to go ahead and use your SIM card as you normally would, and you'll come into your glyph interface or your Nothing OS. Now I've already went through the initial setup of this phone, so I don't really have to go ahead and bore you guys with that. But if you're somebody who's just turned on your phone, it's just asks you for a bunch of personal information and stuff like that. So nothing crazy or anything like that. Now you can see on the top, this is basically the standard Nothing OS software. It's very, very standard if you've had any sort of Android phone. This is your lock screen. So what you can do is you can basically go ahead and see your time up here. You'll see your emergency call settings or anything else like in the top portion, like where your status bar is. Any notifications that you'll get will basically come up right here. So you'll just see a massive list of all the notifications that you have, which is honestly pretty cool. And there, you'll see at the little lock button at the bottom, and that's it. Now you can swipe up, and then you'll come into your standard interface. Now, just like any other version of Android, you'll basically see this type of stuff. It's very, very similar to basically all versions of Android out there. So now what you can do is at the very top, you can go ahead and just see widgets or something, app icons if you ever have them. You'll also see app icons at the bottom, as well as your Google search bar. Now, if you hold down at the very top, you'll basically come into this panel. So if you hold down at any empty area, not just at the top, but any empty area, you'll see this little thing come up. So you'll see something that says like home settings. So here you can go and manage and modify your home settings of your device. So your notification dots and so many other things you can go and kind of modify on your device, which is pretty cool. Hopping back out, if you hold down once more, you'll see widgets. So what you can do is you can come into your widgets panel right here, and you can go ahead and kind of configure all the different widgets that you have. So there are lots and lots of other widgets available right now, which is really cool. So what you can do is you can just find the widgets that you like and you can add them, and that's pretty much all you're going to have to do there. So that's another option that you have, just something that's pretty cool. Holding down once more, you can click customizations, and you can go and kind of configure more of your customizations that you have. So that's another option that you can go and kind of configure. Now hopping back out, you can see that you have your standard icons. You can move these icons around by holding down on an icon and moving it around just like this, but you might have seen something interesting. If we swipe through, you can see that our icons are basically, moving and changing, but our bottom dock is always staying consistent. These two things are pretty much always going to be here. So if you want, you can move an application out of here, and you can bring a different application down here if you want to, or you can add another app if you want to just by dropping it over in the dock. You can add folders and everything like that too, which is pretty cool. So that's an option that you have, and it kind of gets a little bit of time to getting used to, but after a few seconds you should be fine. Now, if you want to see all the applications you have on your phone, you can basically just swipe up from the bottom and you will see this specific page. So what you can do now is you can just see the standard page that you normally would see. You'll see all sorts of stuff, your settings, your whatever applications that you have. So it's another option that you have right here. So if you want, you can go ahead and basically just find whatever application that you want, go ahead and open it up, and that's another thing that you can do. Now, you should be able to see that within your application, within your device, you have standard applications like phone calls, like messages, like Google Chrome, like all this other stuff. But you may have noticed that I have forgot to even explain something to you, and that is the gestures. So to even get into an application, you can tap onto it. But if you actually want to go ahead and hop out of that application, you can actually see that if you grab this specific bar right here, you can basically come back to your home screen. Now that is basically how you interact with your whole entire Android ecosystem. So hopping to an application is very easy. You just tap onto it like that. But to swipe out of it, you want to grab this bar and you want to swipe out of it just like that. Same thing with Google Chrome. You want to go into it and you can swipe out of it just like this. And same thing with camera. You can just swipe out of it just like this too. So that's some really big things to keep in mind. And personally for me, that is a big thing that I do on basically every single device out there. So now if I'm into a device like this, what I can do is I can swipe out of it. But what you can also do is you can swipe between applications. So what you can do is you can basically swipe between like these types of apps. You can swipe between this one, you can just keep going in between the applications that you just opened. But what you can also do is you can actually get inside of your multitasking panel. So if you want, you can go and grab this bar right here and you can swipe to the side and you'll basically come into your application manager. So these are all the applications that are basically available to us right now that we've already opened. So now if you want, you can basically swipe out of an application like this, or you can swipe all the way to the end and you can basically click clear all, and that will basically clear out all the applications that you have here too. Now finally, our status bar. So our status bar is at the very top right here. So if we swipe down, you'll see this little panel come up. So this is going to be, it's not quite the same as our, the lock screen, but it's kind of the same. So we'll have like notifications and stuff kind of come up right here. So if you want, you can quickly toggle on or off, things up here. But for the most part, for any notifications that you have, if you want to quickly delete them or you want to swipe out of them, same exact thing that we talked about before. You can just swipe out of notifications just like this and just like so. And that's a pretty much a cool thing that you have the capability of doing so. You can just quickly swipe out of notifications and that's pretty much it. Now, if you swipe down, you can go see more notifications or more, quick toggles up here. So what you can do is you can, turn on your like torch, you can turn on your glyphs interface and so many other things. So there's a lot of toggles you can turn on here. You can also just, click on this, pencil icon to add more toggles. And that's another thing you can do too. Now you can also get into your settings application by clicking the settings icon right there, and you'll come into this little panel. Now this is the standard like settings panel that a lot of phones have. But the one big thing that I want to show you is this glyph interface. The glyph interface is kind of a cool thing, and it allows you to go ahead and enable these lights that are on the back of your phone. So these little edge things, whatever these are all lights on the back of your phone. So what you can actually do is you can just enable the glyph interface, and that's something that's a very cool feature that you have. So what you can do is you can just enable this just like how I've enabled it right here, and you can enable it for flip to glyph or volume indicator, Google Assistant, charging meter, so many other things. And that's something that you actually have the capability of doing so, which is so cool. So here what you can do is you can go and kind of actually change a lot of things within this device right here. You can go ahead and turn on or off your glyph lights, which is so cool. And there are lots and lots of different things that you have the capability of doing so on your device right here, which is so awesome. So personally for me, this is a really cool thing, and that in and of itself is a really awesome thing that I love doing with our nothing phones. So that pretty much covers it up. Those are pretty much the main things to go and kind of remember about your nothing phone. On top of everything, you should probably go and update your phone as often as possible. So click on your system settings, click on system update, and what you're going to want to do is just keep your phone updated for as long as possible. So download and install the latest updates, and those are pretty much the main things you can probably do and the things I'd probably consider doing. So that pretty much covers it up. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.